Yo, what's up, dude? CFATS. Professor. Joe. Tramadol. AP95. What's up? Wesley. We're looking at AMC and all the memes and all the cryptos, man. Alex, what's up? All right. All right, so we're close, dude. We're at a double bottom with AMC. Double bottom AMC. Gotta get this pop filter in here. Or else hear all the P's and all the B's. Ain't good. Okay, so with this double bottom setup that we basically have here on AMC, the chart I pulled up the other day was Ethereum Classic. All right, what did Ethereum Classic and the entire crypto market do? They had this really nice little bounce here, double bottom bounce. Didn't even have time to really ride this sort of cup we had prior to the run in January. So that would have been great. That would have been great to just ride this. This was basically a fake out for the Bears, a continuation to the upside, massive fake out here in the crypto markets. We know that Bitcoin had that rally already hit a level of resistance. It's currently trading well above what most people were expecting. So again, what this means with the crypto for leverage, what this means for the memes, AMC, GameStop, is that they are next on the cycle. Okay. I'm not going to go too much into what I said yesterday or else I'm just going to be repeating myself, but this is good confirmation. Okay, we're going up. This is really great confirmation. And yeah, AMC is up 7%. Overall markets are up quite a bit as well. Take this thing out. Jeremy, safe to say the bottom is in? Not safe to say, but I think we're close. Any levels that we hit on support are great levels. Really, with on any chart you're trading at. I mean, the risk is very minimal once you're trading on those ranges. So I'm comfortable with where the price is at right now. Again, support. Now, the one thing I told the Discord earlier, okay, is that there's a possibility here if we don't continue this trend to the upside, and I'll go on the intraday chart, but if we don't continue this trend right here, okay, it wouldn't be out of question for us to retest the most recent level of support right now, which is at 440 right here. That's not on the charts, guys. You don't want to have a massive pump because those are typically followed by dumps. Again, why I'm going to talk about the crypto market, because that's exactly what's going on, right? You have all these cryptos rally, and then as Bitcoin hits resistance, comes down a little bit, those guys, altcoins, are the ones that end up taking that massive hit. So same thing with AMC. You're going to see it go last as the market is reaching its new levels here, new highs, and it's going to come down a lot harder if it pumps quickly. That's why we need to just ride this trend, establish these levels, and then get ready and set to climb back up. Everything is still tracking according to some of these patterns we've been tracking. We have the AMC M right over here. This thing right here. Okay, and then we also have all these other patterns tracking right now. Get this one. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna throw in a little poll here. I love the polls. Okay, I want to know what percentage of you guys trade crypto, because I mean I'm gonna talk about crypto on this. I've been getting into crypto trading lately, and for many reasons. You know, I used to trade options a lot more uh, before, and now I focus a lot more on trading crypto, understanding just how the crypto market works. Why I've been making all these other indicators with with cycle. What the cycle has taught me here on AMC is just the strategies I believe these hedge funds are using against retail, and how that really affects this overall market, the market structure here of options and leverage and everything. It's just a crazy thing. But crypto, man, is it's pretty interesting. I want to know who trades crypto here. You prefer crypto or stocks? Actually, I'm gonna do I'm gonna do futures or options, because I think that's a better question. Really, you could do futures as well. That's basically what crypto is. So I need to know. I need to know, man. Vote. What do you guys? What are you guys on? What do you guys do? What up, Matt? Angie, Tickles, Doc. What's up? Make sure you guys are hitting that like button, man. Smash that like button as you're coming in. If you like a good stream, right? All right, 20 votes. Yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons to both. The cool thing about, I think, so, and I mean, you can have your opinion on this, but I think options are a lot riskier than futures, just because, well, you have time fighting contracts. Unless you're trading depends what futures you're trading, but um you know, if you're trading on leverage, it's, and you have a set, if you're not trading on isolated margin, which is very risky, I would say that's way riskier than trading options. But if you're trading on cross margin, I would say that's the safest way to really manage your risk on future trades, on leverage trading. So Yeah, options got their ups and downs. You know, the time being one of the main factors. Theta, having to really worry about time if you're trading shorter term contracts with futures. I mean, you're just adding a little bit more leverage, and avoid getting liquidated. That's why you have to have that cushion. You have to have that cash, that capital surrounding. And then you have a really wide range to work with, get in and out of trades quickly, you know? Okay. So let's do SPY. Let's go over SPY here. Okay. So what SPY is doing right now, and why I think this is affecting the entire market, okay, especially the crypto market, I treat it the same way. Crypto markets are uh, they're very volatile, right? There's a lot of volatility on the crypto markets. So I treat them the same way as meme stocks, really, right now, because there's not a lot of regulation on the market. So they're also going to be extremely manipulated. And that's why, especially on the intraday charts, you're going to see this on the crypto markets. Anything like that is not regulated to the levels that we see here, at least in the stock market, there's going to be a lot of volatility. And sure, we're seeing a lot of volatility in the overall markets right now, but it's just not the same. So that's why I always try and zoom out on the macro chart when I'm looking at crypto, because you never really see a nice smooth average of everything going on, because there's just so many spikes, dude, on the chart. But with this, just SPY coming down to retest this descending level of support at 385 and now bouncing back up, this is really strong. This is a good sign, because this is considered a projector pattern. If you guys know what projectors are, this one right here, this projector pattern, instead of crossing up on a flag, so there's multiple versions of this. On AMC, we had a projector look like this. This was January. It comes all the way back down. It does this. Trade sideways here. And then it does this. And then here's a projector. Okay? This is AMC in January. Right? So projector lies right here, because this is what shoots everything up, starts climbing above. What happens here is you first cross resistance, and then this becomes that same thing, that descending level of support, that trend line. Once you bounce off of that level, you don't have to, but a lot of the times you will come down and bounce. Normally that's a bullish sign that things are going to start shooting back up. A lot of fear in the markets, banks, everything going on with the bank thing. One thing that, and you can, bro, this is a cool thing about freaking Chat GPT. Go ask Chat GPT right now. What did media outlets and companies, or did the media warn anybody about 2008? And it'll tell you that nobody was warned. Medias were not pushing that narrative out because they didn't want anybody knowing, right? Now it's the complete opposite. Everybody's warning you. Even the banks are warning you. And that's sus, man. That's sus. There's gonna be good people out there warning you about certain things happening in the market, but not the majority of outlets are gonna be doing that. They're gonna be talking about some shit going on in the markets, but I don't see it. Just with the amount of FUD, the amount that's going on, and not really affecting the market the same way. There's just so much going on in the markets. and you're not seeing things play out as most people would intend them to. With this kind of effect, this market effect on the bank thing, if that actually was something nobody pushed, uh, nobody had a narrative about and pushed prior to the downside here, which now we're seeing the opposite, right? We're seeing things come back up. Then I think we would have a much greater fall, kind of like Bitcoin. When the whole FTX thing happened, right? That was the last time we saw a major crypto like fall back here in November. Hey, markets are not doing this, dude. I mean, crypto falls here 21 to 50, like, dude, freaking 30% drop on crypto following that news. I mean, that's pretty valid, right? With something like that. But nobody was talking about it. Was anybody here telling you, yo, like FTX is going to collapse? No, it just fucking happened. It collapses. The market being a greater threat to like this ripple effect that could potentially happen gets the same kind of news and barely falls, right? It just comes down to already falling down to retest a level of support, and now it's bouncing back up. So it just, that's the whole point here, is that they're just going to drive these narratives to scare people, and then they're going to pump the stock. And that's what's happening, right? We're pumping the market here. And that's why I'm bullish, man. That's why I'm bullish on AMC. That's why I'm bullish on crypto. I mean, I'm bullish as hell, even though it's been a hell of a ride back down, sure. But stocks can only go down so much before they pump, and I think we're getting extremely close. Dude. Futures options 57% on options. Okay. All right. Here, I'll show you guys a cryptocurrency that we were tracking on. Also, guys, on the Discord, because that is what I focus majority of my time doing and specializing in, trying to make the Discord a good place to be in. And we track a lot of different. So I do crypto futures and options. Those are the both plays that I focus on. And GRT. Okay, I'm going to show you guys a pattern that I was tracking here that called the bottom here and the entire move back down. If you guys don't already know what pattern I'm talking about, I mean, this one is pretty clear. I mean, this is AMC's, clearly. Okay, we track this right here, which is the arc, AMC's arc pattern, all the way right there. We do like that. Okay. And I'm telling you, bro, this thing did not only hit the same level, but it told us when it was going to pump. And it's the thing, man, like these are like places you kind of have to be patient with. I personally don't like riding the trend down midway, right? Like playing it right here is very dangerous. If you're doing like short-term plays, sure. But coming down, look at the accuracy on this. We have, well, this is the moving average, right? So if you take the moving average of GRT, you're going to get the same thing. Okay, here's the moving average. Take away those candles, and we have a match. We have a perfect match right here. All the levels are hitting high, mid-range, 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 low, high again. Right here, it starts breaking out completely. It's very likely hitting another level that we are tracking here on AMC's chart, which is potentially right above that 17-cent range for GRT. So, yeah, dude, things are looking crazy. Another way you can track this too is the blue pattern is actually looking very similar. So over here, I'm tracking the blue pattern. It's right there. And you can see right here is also calling for 16 cents, trade sideways, potentially start pumping back down. Yeah, crypto markets are overbought right now. It's a massive pump. So I do expect things to come down and just settle, right below a little bit. But essentially, we're going to see a continuation here. We shouldn't see a full dump. Things should start climbing back up soon. It's just to show you, man, that tracking patterns is valid. It's super valid. Crypto Scanner is going to be out as well on the scanner that me and my brother have developed. And that is going to have other functions as well. You're going to be able to scan crypto and other cryptos market and find similar patterns, just like we do with the markets. Okay. It's an extra little feature you get right now. The beta is out. Beta is out. If you guys want to use it, you do have to be a Discord member. So right below on that link, if you guys want to check that out, there's the beta version of that. Let's do. I think here in the next couple of days for SPY, we're going to see some consolidation to the upside. And we're going to ride around this trend for a little bit. Because we just crossed here. We have a blue or a pink spot right here. But when they get rejected off and come back in to the range, it just reacts as support. Also, just looking at this here too, we have something like this. I would say you could find in crypto. This pattern. Dude, I like to track. If you guys don't know, I track the hell out of of patterns here because like I'm trying to find out what the best, what the different possibilities, man, in the markets. OP. Let's see. Was it this one? 2 down. Yeah. I like this one. The only thing I don't like about this one is, well, no, I like it, but it comes down though. I don't know. I don't know actually. The thing is like on the macro chart, SPY right now is I'm expecting it to go up. Like I'm not expecting it to cross below this range. It could have one more fake out. I mean, being that it is a quad witching week as well, but this is just one candidate, man. I like I said, SPY right now, the macro candidates are all calling for upside. Here's one. Here. Got PBR. Upside. Upside here as well. This one right here is pretty accurate too. And this is actually this is found in SPY. SPY, just a later date before. It's also a pattern. These are all patterns. They're not fractals. So they're pretty valid. This one being the most accurate one right now so far. Tilray is having a pretty nice push here. We did have a POI on the website, and now we have it coming down again to test support one more time. Here's the parallel channel. But it came down below a little bit more, so now we have this. So this is a good level for me on Tilray cannabis stocks right now, bouncing off of support. So this has a lot of potential here. And we had this happen with GRT. So we go on GRT. We go on where it happened and what the potential is. This would be a bearish scenario for Tilray. I personally would see something like this being inverse and flipped. Let's do that. Let's just take the whole thing. It was 4. Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, this is where you do have to look at the levels, and this would not be ideal for Tilray because like the likelihood of it going from $3 to pennies is in a matter of days is not possible. I mean, it's really unlikely. So this is where I would look at this as a rejection and an inverse pattern. So you would literally see the inverse play out. That's how POIs work. POIs are crazy. So you zoom out of the chart a little bit just to see it. and here on these levels it would come up to 7 and retest another level of support, resistance, I mean. But see, at this point I wouldn't even track this pattern here because I don't really I don't trust inverse patterns as much as I do ones that are identical and actually playing out. But you guys can kind of see the similarities here between it's that fourth test. You guys know how the fourth test works. It's either you break it or it flips. Flips. All right, GME. Where did I get this from? Yeah, this double bottom setup on GME is also pretty interesting because the double bottoms on GME are pretty accurate, and it being that we're coming up to the April point of interest, it has earnings next week. I wouldn't be surprised here if GME has a nice rally because GME has been more suppressed here since August of last year than it has compared to other meme stocks. It hasn't really had that room to go. So here's a double bottom. We have a rally, double bottom, rally. You can consider this one as well here. Double bottom. This one's a very small one, but it's making that same pattern here, that same fractal, you can call it. It is a double bottom. So yes, we are tracking also GME. GME has a lot of potential in the short term. Curious to see what this looks like here. Bro, it's crazy how and I know there's some that are thinking yo, he's making it fit. If a pattern is not valid, I promise you it won't fit. You can make it fit because the thing about the thing that's really important about fractals and them working out is that every single drop or rally that you have within that pattern, so you're going to see it, has to line up with the structure of whatever is being developed there. That's why these are valid points of interest because, for example, here, I tried making it fit, and this whole section here is clearly not part of this fractal. It's not valid, but some sections are, even though they have massive gaps. For example, here, you can see this could be associated with what's going on right here. If you just take this pattern and drag it back down, this would be considered that high point, that rejection, and then it fully stops tracking right here, and then it comes back into that same sequence to fully play out. So these are valid. You can almost do this with any pattern in the market because that's how markets work. They work on time. Time is not something you can really manipulate. Algorithms know that, and they have to go based off of these ways they can communicate because there's not one whale controlling the entire market. There's multiple whales, and they have to communicate with each other and make sure that that things track. Yeah, the same way. What's up, Alan? What is up? Oh yeah, dude, this one was pretty crazy too. Like, look at this. This is AMC. When I found this, uh, like, just this is a fractal too, but like, look at the accuracy on this one. So this was flipped completely. This part of the cycle, look how accurate it fits right here. And obviously it's a lot bigger. Like this is, but the levels, man, the levels, and see how it stops tracking. As soon as you get hit that POI, it starts doing something else completely, and then you don't have the same thing. Things are tracking differently now. But that should tell you, man, like, patterns in the market are not natural. They're not, oh, that's retail sentiment or, we're controlling the price. Hell no. All these puzzles, man, we're finding. Here's another one on AMC. This is AMC right here, August 24th. The run up. See how it GME then later played this out 2022. Get this. This is AMC 2021. This is GME 2022. They will track just different versions of the same pattern. And then what do we have here? Why I believe in inverse patterns? Right here. You have this massive gap. Massive gap. What's the inverse of this? You just flip it. And you flip it, dude. And that is it. That is the inverse right there. And what do you have? You have this double bottom setup. So, crazy, man. Crazy shit. Keep that there. Jamie. This is one the pattern scanner pulled up. This was, what was it? It was either Sundial. I think it was Sundial, actually. Sundial, let's see. No, I don't know. I don't think so. I'll have to check. I mean, that's the thing, man, about the pattern scanner. Like, once it, that's why I always write notes. For this one, I didn't. Kind of hate myself for it. I didn't write which one it scanned, which pattern this was scanning. I'll have to look back on that video to see. But I'm pretty sure it was, I mean, it was a meme stock. It was a meme stock. All right. Drinking LaCroix. They didn't have bubblies, man. I'm addicted to bubblies. I don't know what it is about those lime bubblies. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. I had to get grapefruit. All right. Let's see. Let's see. That's my favorite little phrase, bro. Let's see. Let's fucking see. What do we got? Yo, if you guys got stocks you want me to look at or crypto, hit it up. Let's do this. Let's run it. Wow, I'm impressed actually. I was not expecting this ratio to be this close. We got futures at 43. That's impressive. I never would have thought that. I would have thought like 80% versus 20. Interesting. I do futures now a little bit more than I did before. I was options. I think that's how most people learn too. It's like they'll do stocks and then they go up to, they do options and then they find out about futures because futures are complicated, man. But, well, so are options. They're both complicated. But I think maybe that's just a self bias thing. But I feel like that's just the way you transition to it. Futures can be, they're fun. They're fun. Oh yeah. What happened the other day? Yeah, so there's like this case going around, guys. I just want to make it clear. I read that case. Um, it was some dude who like he was trying to dispute the whole thing, right? So they can like uh make this whole process thing go a little bit quicker. They can dismiss the case and then AMC can just do the reverse split, right? Because it's a yes now. The issue with that, and I think, like we need to read these, make sure that things are pretty accurate on the reports, but that wasn't a case that was dismissed. That was somebody trying to dispute something and the court rejecting it. So they dismissed the guy's case, not AMC's case. So he was trying to, talk about how he had some put options on AMC and he was worried about his investment because they delayed the split. And they were like, well, that's not a valid thing. Like that's your deal, bro. Like stocks, options is a risk. So it wasn't, he's not allowed to be on the case to present that as evidence, which again, I don't think it matters, guys. This stuff they push out in the end is just to entertain, if you will, right? Entertain on the way down or on the way up. If they don't have entertainment, then there's nothing that they can say drives the price to whatever direction, even though it just most of the time doesn't. Most of the time, the opposite does happen. That's just like, I think statistically, and I don't think they're going to push that out, but statistically, things are not timed to play out, or else everybody would be winning. But with the cycle, and we'll go over that now. I'm going to go over AMC cycle, and we'll talk about it. What do I think is going to happen? Okay, so here's our lovely cycle, AMC cycle. This is where we're at right now. Let's see here, bro, because this... Bro. Oh my Jesus. Bro, this literally, bro, is so crazy to me. Okay, just a recap, okay, for anybody who does not know what the cycle is. Very simple. I don't talk about it all the time, okay, but because I think it's like a pretty simple thing to track, okay? You don't have to track it like I do. I like tracking it like this because sometimes you can clearly see that patterns are inverse, they're identical, whatever. And no, this is not calling for things to play out exactly as they look. That is not how it works. But you are able to spot where you are in the cycle and why it's something that keeps happening over and over and over again. Here, like, we can clearly see that this is an inverse cycle right here, because you flip it and it becomes a puzzle, right? You drag this on over and that fits right on the same section. It's a 62-day cycle. It runs every 62 days and right on that mark, right? Now, there's two versions of this cycle. One version is one that does not consider, so this one does not really consider the gaps that happen throughout the entire market. For example, rollover dates and these holiday dates and stuff like that sometimes shift around the market just very slightly. You're going to see that more with using the cyclical lines tool right here. And what this does, so we have it here, May 62 days would be from May 13th at 3 to July 15th at 3. That's 62 days. That's 2 months. And this is the thing about this, guys. So you see how everything here is lining up, right? I don't know if you guys can see this. It's going to be a little bit hard. But you're starting to see a very small separation here between, and it's very small. It's about a day or two where things shift because of these rollover dates. So this would be considered the other cycle. And if you change the time frame, this is the thing about TradingView. If you keep changing the time frame, these cyclical lines start to change. I think it was on like it was on like a weird time frame. Well, you're not going to see everything play out the same, especially if you don't have, if you're not paying for the NYSE, you're going to get different data. That's why I pay for this, because if I don't have the same data, then I'm getting skewed results. And I'm getting, for the other day, I had, my chart was messed up because the way TradingView works is it will restructure everything differently. I think there was like some kind of bug or something for a day or two where I did not have, everything was just messed around. And I actually thought for a day that AMC cycle was completely screwed up. It literally looked like this, dude. It looked like that. You can ask anybody on the Discord. And then just recently, I'd figured out that it was the market data that was doing that, and that's why the cycle was not lining up the same way. So you got to make sure that you have the correct data, or else you're going to get skewed results. Okay. So back to this, where we're at right now in the cycle. The next POI that we have is April, early April. And that is where we can expect the next volatility zone in the overall markets. One way to see if this is accurate or not is we go back on SPY. You guys already know what I do every single time. I look at the candidates. What I'm tracking right now, the most accurate one. We've been tracking this since end of last year, December, going into January. This pattern has been tracking to a T. It has not failed yet. And most patterns were calling for this right here, this run up, this cross, retest back at descending level of support, and then a bounce. And that's what we're getting right now. Has not failed. So one way to confirm that the cycle is tracking, things are going to potentially play out the same way, is the peak here on SPY. We have April 21st being the peak, and then it starts coming back down. AMC cycle, April 21st is the peak. What happens every time? I say this over and over again. You're probably tired of it. But every time we get to the peak, that's a potential reversal in either direction based on the POI, if it's inverse or identical. So it being that market is expected to come back up, if the POI is positive here and AMC starts to run, that would be a level to track for a potential decline here on AMC's price. And everything is lining up as far as that goes with the POI and why I think we're going to run here. I think this should be it. It should be it after this 2 years of just waiting for the chart to do its thing. A lot of indicators are showing that right now on the cycle. And I think sometime early April is when the court is going to approve this. So this is what I'm going to say to the option, the people that are doing options, okay? Not financial advice, ever, but before APE took place, I had mentioned on Twitter, on YouTube, what happens to non-standard options. They become very risky in the markets because there's a lack of demand for them after the new standard ones come out. More people like to buy standard contracts. They don't like to deal with the ratio of a reverse split or having APE in the equation. So that is an issue because if the court anonymously decides to not warn anybody why this is dangerous, there's a deadline on the 27th, but I believe even after that, they still have like an extension period or something. If nothing happens prior to this, which I don't think they're going to wait till the 27th, I think it's going to happen sometime in April, early April, because that's when the POI is. If they don't approve this, again, things might be extended a little bit, but if it's likely that they're not going to warn anybody because, and this is why it's like risky, because if they do it overnight and the split takes place that night, what happens to the options the next day? They become non-standard options without any warning. Nobody knows anything. And that's to my understanding, right? I'm not saying things are going to happen that way, but they can. So that is a pretty risky thing for options, in my opinion. I think that's a pretty freaking risky thing. If I'm wrong on that, somebody correct me. But I saw this happen recently with a stock. I'm trying to think of the name. What was it? And it was a penny stock too. So I was just looking at this penny. I'm not a penny stock trader, but it was on the news, getting alerts on reverse splits and stuff like that. So that was one of the things I looked at, and it just, if they don't have to warn anybody about it, it does kind of become a risk for anybody that has options, because if they make new contracts just after releasing that the court has approved this and there's no date or anything like that. Now, I think it would be appropriate to approve it and then have a date for it, because that at least that gives the investor time to do whatever they want, right? You can do whatever you want. But correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if they have to do that. AMC plus APE. Yeah, I have AMC plus APE right here. Sometimes you're going to get, actually, the majority of the time, you're going to get a more accurate representation of AMC plus APE's chart when looking at fractals. Look at this. See how this right here is a lot more accurate than looking at just AMC's chart, because that's AMC's other half, guys. It's missing. So the ratio levels are not going to be the same on AMC's chart because you have its other half somewhere else. So sometimes it's good to double check yourself on some of these patterns that you're tracking. This being one of them, it's a pretty relevant one. But again, calling for that upside in the shorter term. And then where's the POI? April, right here, April. AMC being delisted? No, that's not likely. It is not likely. First of all, they're doing a reverse split. Reverse split fights against that hardcore. For me, my thoughts. I've already said my thoughts on reverse splits, but there's good things and bad things for a split. Reverse split. Reverse split. If it's gonna it's gonna 10x the price. Your investment value is not gonna change once the split takes place. It's just gonna convert the shares wherever it's trading at. AMC plus APE. Say that AMC plus APE collectively goes to 10 or something, then it would be at 100, and then at 100, what that does is, well, yeah, some of the requirements for AMC, if it needs to be above a certain level to meet with certain requirements for ETFs or just being in the market, that is one way to fight against it. It does the opposite of diluting. Now they're adding some shares, but essentially it still will do the opposite of diluting. And then once it gets up there, the only thing that I said would be considered a bearish thing and why this is the chance for AMC to run is because the sort of incentive here to shorts is that they could potentially pile back in when the price is so high. So not because the price ran and opened up at 100 or whatever, and then they could short it down. No, because the chart's going to be adjusted. But what this does is psychologically, from a psychological perspective, somebody would be more inclined to sell when the price is higher than the previous levels that one was tracking. So if you were, now we know AMC is at $5, right? And say again, combined, it goes up to 10, and then we go to 100. Well, very quickly there's going to be a drastic price change, which from a psychological perspective might make somebody a little bit more nervous in that. And I think shorts use this. They use this to be able to bring the stock down after. I personally don't like reverse splits for the long term, but I think in the short term is where we could see something happen. And again, I'm personally, I think the majority of people here that are looking for a squeeze aren't looking for a, most people, they're going to ride the squeeze and then they're going to get out. I mean, they're not going to hold this thing forever and expect the investment to go to $1 million or something, right? That's unrealistic. Most people here are here to ride a wave of a play and exit that trade. I mean, if you're a trader, you're trying to get in and out, period. So that's the thing here, man. You got to look at it from a psychological perspective, just like these hedge funds do. And yeah, they're looking at the psychology of the retail trader. And that's what we got to play their game. We got to play their game, dude, because that's the shit they do. It's the shit these guys do. Let's see. Here are the POIs. Just making sure it's the right size. So we enter the POI on the 31st at 3. And it runs until April 21st at 3. This one off a little bit. Oh, okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3. What if, hear me out, we flip this and we mirror this? Because the cycle here, Echo, the options for AMC right now are only for AMC, so in theory they will just get adjusted to reflect the reverse split price. Most non-standard options include another ticket. So not reverse split does adjust the option chain. Splits don't, which is splits don't, but reverse splits do. I'm like spacing out. I'm gonna double check this because I don't want to give you guys wrong information, but I'm pretty sure this is it. I'm gonna check real quick. Yep. Reverse splits do that. They do change the, and again, like that's an issue. It becomes an issue because it's just another way for the option chain to reset. Basically reset again, because you're making it extremely hard for anybody to get those contracts, because nobody wants those contracts. Look at the non-standard AMC contracts for Ape, right? Those guys obviously took a pretty massive hit, and there's just very little liquidity for those, so nobody's really buying them. And those are, and those were something that affected AMC's price, right? So now we would have the split contract, so kind of a similar thing, except these are not going to be AMC Ape contracts. They're just going to be AMC, and then you're going to see 1 for 10 like that, or it's going to have it'll say something 1 for 10, and then those are going to be the current contracts will become 1 for 10, and then once it takes place, you're going to have new contracts that will be standard contracts, and they're going to look just like the ones that you see right now, and those are going to be the ones that have that calculation. So they're the ones that people are going to use, because they're not going to the thing about these splits, and I don't know why they do this. Well, actually, I think I do know why, and I think it's for manipulation purposes, but I personally, I like no one's going to buy those, because we saw the same thing happen with AMC and Ape, right? Alrighty, guys. This will be it for the stream. I'm going to take a little break. Gonna go walk my Nola, my baby Shih Tzu. And I will see you guys hopefully sometime this week. Maybe go live again tomorrow. Make sure you guys check out the Discord. Again, I spend most of the time there. I do all the updates there on many other stocks and cryptos in the market. So check that out and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.